So you want a fast 435? Well, it's the perfect video to click on because today I'm gonna tell you what you need, how much it costs, to kind of alleviate some of the guessing work and let you guys in on how I turn my 270 wheel horsepower stock 435 into a 520 wheel horsepower monster. And you guys are gonna be surprised because, believe it or not, it really doesn't cost that much. What's up guys, what's going on? Welcome back all my slow speeders. This is Mike from Slow Speed. And like I mentioned earlier today, I'm gonna tally up how much money I spent in power mods to get this car where it's at today. Now, if you guys watched the last video, you know it currently dynos at 520 wheel on 21 pounds of boost. At the moment, the car has about 24 pounds of boost on it. So I don't know exactly how much power it makes, but I can reassure you that it is over 520 wheel. That being said, I'm gonna pop the hood and walk through with you guys all the performance mods it took to get this car to this level. All right guys, if you guys wouldn't believe me, but I shot the whole thing and I realized I wasn't in frame. I was a little over to the left, so gotta do it all over again. This is take two. Hopefully I remember everything that I said because I kind of freestyled it. Now, to familiarize you guys with my car, some of you may know, some of you don't. If you have not subscribed, by the way, go ahead and click down below, leave a like and comment as well. It's greatly appreciated. I have a 2014 BMW 435i. This is rear wheel drive model for whatever that is worth. I'm pretty sure 99% of you guys know exactly what engine I have in here. It's a 3-liter single turbo 6-cylinder engine dubbed the N55. Which is probably one of the greatest motors that have ever came out in life. And I'm not just saying that because I own one. These cars came with about 270 wheel horsepower from the factory, and I went ahead and increased that by about 250 wheel horsepower, which netted me around 520 at 21 pounds of boost. Now, those of you who understand, 21 pounds of boost is kind of a low boost setup for the turbo. Now, the biggest, most major component that you would need to achieve this is, in fact, you have to upgrade the turbo. On my car you see right here, I went ahead and picked up the Big Boost Turbo Kit. It's the Stage 3 ceramic dual ball bearing kit for about $3,800 from Juan over at Big Boost. Now, this is a whole different turbo. Made it to a custom manifold and custom lines and everything like that. Turbo is from Master Power. If you guys don't want to go that deep, you still will be able to achieve 520 wheel with a pure or a hybrid turbo setup. It may require a lot more boost, but it can be done. Now, with that being said, there are other big turbo kits as well that utilize Borg-Warner and Garrett turbos, which would be like your Speedtech kit or Doc Race, something like that. I think Doc Race might use Precision, to be honest. However, I'm not too familiar with those kits as I don't have them. I do know that they are a little bit well put together, have better customer service, and cost a lot more money. So in this case, you get what you pay for. However, my Big Boost Master Power Turbo Kit is functioning properly. Now, like I stated before, one huge thing that I will mention about this car is 7th and 8th gear in this car pulls crazy. And I think that is only like big turbo territory. I don't know if the little baby hybrids or stock turbo could even push enough air to make as much torque in those gears. It is insane. Because the next thing you need is fueling. You will have to upgrade your fuel because the turbo is like a big air pump, pumping air into the motor. Next thing you need fuel. Now this car is direct injected, so fuel is sprayed directly into the cylinder, which means you need about 2,500 PSI rail pressure to go ahead and get that fuel squeezed in there, which require high pressure fuel pump. Now, obviously all turbocharged BMWs come with a high pressure fuel pump, but it's really weak, actually one of the weakest components and like first bottleneck that you'll run into. So what I went ahead and did was I upgraded to a Spool Performance FX 150 pump. Now I was rushing, I was not patient, but I would have went ahead and just chose the 180 for a couple $100 more. Like I said, I was impatient and I went with the 150. 150, not a bad pump at all. I'm still running it and I had no issues with it. It does make a little bit of noise at idle, but nothing to be alarmed. There are other options like Dorch Engineering, and you have XDI by TTFS, which was out for a long time. However, the pricing didn't really make sense. Hopefully they got that together now that there are a lot more affordable options out there. Now that Spool Performance high pressure fuel pump will cost you around $13.99. It is recommended to get the fuel filter with it as well. And now that we have the high side covered, we're gonna go over to the low side. Every vehicle is also equipped with a fuel pump that sits inside the tank. This one is no different. However, when you're adding things like ethanol and more boost into the mixture, you need to upgrade every component of the fueling system, because BMW did not design it for you to push this much power, which require this much fuel through the stock setup. Now I went ahead and upgraded to the Walboro 525 Hellcat fuel pump for about 130 bucks. 30 bucks for the fuel pump install kit, which includes like the filter and things like that. You're also gonna need a clear corrugated fuel line from Quantum Fuel Supplies, a high flow fuel system. I'll have the link down below of all of that stuff and the proper size that you will need, because the first couple of ones that I've gotten was a little too short. If you're not up to the task, trust me, I understand. It was a headache to go ahead and kind of build your own low pressure fuel pump. You can go ahead to fuel it like $2.99 plus I think an extra 75 bucks. You can go ahead and pick up your Hellcat 525 pump assembly, everything all together. And I mean, it's not that hard to install, to be 100% honest with you. Just make sure the tank is close to empty and you have the battery disconnected, because yeah. You guys know about the Walboro 525 pump, that it runs a lot more voltage and amperage than the stock pump. And what that means is the factory computer that controls the fuel pump cannot run that pump for long periods of times. What happens is it overheats and cuts off. So you will need to upgrade that as well, which I have done with a Eospeed BPM4, which ran me about, I would say, 600 and change. I'll put the exact price with the links down below. Now, that is a full plug and play kit. It does not require any splicing if you don't want it to. I think it's about $6.99. I think it's about $6.99 if you didn't want to splice anything, but I was cheap and tried to save 50 bucks and ended up using the harness from the parts car and buying the right pieces. So learn from me, just pay the $6.99 and get it over with. So that's pretty much all you need on the fueling side. Now, little other bits and pieces like intake and exhaust definitely help the process. There are cheaper options out there, like my exhaust, for instance. I went ahead and made like a custom muffler delete setup using vibrant resonators. I also have that video as well if you want to check that out. One thing that I will say is when I changed the intake to the Turner Motorsports open carbon intake, I did notice a difference at the top end. The car just felt like it wanted to pull a little bit stronger. Like I stated, there are cheaper options out there, but those are some of the little things that I also picked up. You would definitely need something like an intercooler, and you would need a charge pipe. Downpipe comes with the kit. So charge pipe, I have a VRSF, and intercooler, I have a VRSF. I have the 5-inch HD, which I always thought was heavy duty, but it's actually high density. The fins are just a lot closer and it has better cooling capabilities. Now, with this big turbo kit, 7-inch intercooler, in my opinion, will be perfect for it. I went with the 5-inch because stock turbos and pure turbos, I do think 7 is a little overkill. If upgrade from the stock intercooler to the 5-inch intercooler with a stock turbo, the car doesn't feel as punchy, and obviously that's because that turbo has to fill up that bigger intercooler. Now, you can pick up VRSF parts for super cheap. I think the charge pipe was about 220 bucks, and the intercooler, I want to say, was about 350 bucks if I'm not sure, maybe 400 bucks. I got a deal on it because I bought it used off of this kid named Jay. Super shout out to you. I don't even know your Instagram now because you changed it like 30 times, but I'm following your progress, man. Congratulations on the C7 Corvette. I'm curious to see what you're gonna come out with next, because boy, you switch cars more than I switch whatever. Anyway, now believe it or not, we're pretty much almost done, guys. You definitely need to pick up some upgraded spark plugs. I suggest the NGK 97506, utilizing the N20 motors, which is your 2-liter turbos in the 328s and so forth. Which run about 17.5 pounds of boost stock. Now, to be 100% honest, I recommend getting all parts like that, kind of like wear items from FCP Euro. They have a lifetime warranty. Not sponsored by them at all, but it's just a smart idea, smart move, especially if you plan on doing a lot of tuning. And with that being said, the last piece of the puzzle is tuning. You need a good tuner on your hands that will be able to extract that type of power. Now, no off-the-shelf tune will give you 520 wheel. I'm gonna be 100% clear with you. Boot motor MHD is 100% your choice, or you can go with whatever your tuner prefers. To be honest with you, once you're flashing a custom tune on a car, it's up to the tuner on what will be better for him or her to use. These platforms are pretty much identical, especially when you're installing a custom tune on the car. Boot mode has its pros and an MHD has its pros, but at the end of the day, it's all up to your tuner and you as to what you decide to spend money on. Now, next down the list of tuning, you're definitely gonna need an XHP trans flash. Now, if you go with boot mode, you'll know that they have a transmission flash that comes with the software as well, but XHP will just push it that next step forward, and I think is highly, highly recommended when you're running a high horsepower setup like this car. The spark plugs, you could be looking to spend anywhere from around $100 to $120. The boot mode software is $595. For those of you who do not know, MHD comes in a tad bit cheaper. When you pair that MHD up with the XHP, it's about the same price as the boot mode setup. And me, I chose David's SHOUP as my tuner. I paid, I think, around $500 to $600, and I got a 93 map and I got an 85 fuel map as well, which is where I got the 520 wheel horsepower. Now, you also need a place where you can log the car or get it tuned. You can choose dyno or street. Street is obviously free, but it may come with some tickets, and dyno costs money by the hour. I actually do both. Thankfully, I've gotten no tickets. I just wait for a clear stretch in the road. I do it respectfully as you can, and you go ahead and hit that pull, send it to the tuner, and he goes ahead and does his thing. That's it, guys. That's pretty much all you need in order to extract this much power out of this car. I know it doesn't cost a lot of money. I also put the total right here because I don't know it. I didn't do the calculations, but what does end up costing money is a lot of the workarounds you have to do to be able to put this power down. My car from factory comes with an open differential, 255 tires, some heavy cast wheels, stock suspension, just a bunch of different things that'll make that much power in this car extremely scary, dicey, and something that I wouldn't recommend. Probably make a video later on down the road of all the mods that I have and give you guys a total and tell you, is it worth it? Is the teaser? Hell no, it was not worth it. But I am happy, and this car puts a smile on my face every time I get on the gas and it doesn't blow up. Now you guys have heard every single thing that I put in my car to make it as fast as I do. There's a couple optional things like meth, and we'll get into that. Meth Kit runs you about $400 or $500-ish. That being said, I want to thank all of you on the other side of this camera for walking with me step by step, side by side, subscribing and watching me build this car from nothing to something. However, all good things come to an end, and I really hate to say it, but kind of bored of the car. I feel like I did a lot to it already, and I'm at that point where I say, do I build the interior, make it full race car, or do I just go down the path of starting a whole other build? So if I was rich, I'd do both. However, I'm not. Now, the plans are to keep the 435 and get something else to bring to the channel, and then we'll just judge and see how it goes along. If I don't like all the freaking payments, I'll just get rid of the 435. Or if I realize that maybe I didn't want to hold the car all the time, I'll just get rid of the other car. Whatever way it works out. With that being said, I kind of have a feeling that once I get this new project, I'm going to be super excited to work on it, and this is just going to stay parked. So I don't know what's next in the plans, but one thing I will tell you is I had a damn good time with this BMW 435, and I still will be making some videos. So don't think it's gone just yet, but put down in the comment section what you guys want to see on the channel. Thank you guys for tuning in. Mike from Slow Speed. Peace out. Now, by the way, I don't know if you guys can see it from all the way back here, but I'm rocking one of the standout shirts that I made for myself and maybe a couple of you others. Now I'm gonna give you guys a little code. The code is gonna be yellow3. And what that's gonna do is the first 3 people who on Instagram and DM me yellow3, just send me yellow 3, and I'll just ask you what size, what color you want. Now, I only have black shirts and white shirts, but the black shirts, you can have the silver, like the silver chrome writing. White shirts, obviously black. Black shirts, you got the white writing, anything you want. But you can get the standout logo like you see here, or just the Slow Speed logo. So I will ask you what you need, what size, and let me know. Black, what logo, black, you want this one or you want the Slow Speed one? And yeah, I'll go ahead and ship that out to the first 3 people that go ahead and write that to me. I think that's pretty cool. And definitely when you get it, when you get the shirts, send me a picture and I will put you on the IG and maybe on your YouTube channel. Maybe we can even link up. If you're local, give you the shirts, we'll talk, maybe shoot a video. So like that being said, Mike from Slow Speed, and get out of here.